I'm Nelson Arevalo, and I'm an artist. More specifically, a graphic designer. I always knew I wanted to become an artist. I always had it in me. I just wasn't sure what type of artist. So I'd figure, why not give everything else a try? When I started my art, I did start as a painter, and yeah, I love painting. I think it's very relieving. Art saved my life. I mean, it helped me like get myself together. You know, high school wasn't good years for me, and I don't mean like good years like I didn't have fun. I had lots of fun, but it just wasn't good years academic wise. So I guess art, painting, sculpting, drawing, and graphic design helped me just get away from that and help me go into this world where I can really express myself and express what I have inside. My documentary is going to be about graphic design. Not only do I want to show people what graphic design is, but I also want to show people the different type of designers there is and their different perspectives and how was it that they became designers. So I was really interested in really finding out different stuff about the graphic design community, and really worked out for the best. About 19 when I realized I wanted to be a graphic designer, but I always knew as a child I wanted to be an artist. I just wasn't sure what type of artist, but I knew that I wanted to express myself through art, and that's what I do mainly. I express myself through art, and just another subdivision of it is graphic design, and I just love it. That's the reason why I'm doing this documentary, because I love graphic design.
I was only 21, high school, 10th grade.
16 when I started learning about all the different programs.
20 to 21.
18.
I was just getting out of high school. I don't know, I try to figure out what I want to do with my art, because I know it's something to art.
18-ish, I guess, because I like working with computers and I like art.
I've always been drawing when I was younger. I've had like sketchbooks, but like I never pursued graphic design or any illustrations like that until like 2 years ago.
My first graphic design class in my junior year of high school, and like back then it was just something that I thought was kind of cool to do on the side.
I was around 6 years old when I started drawing heavily.
Creative process that usually involves a client and a designer. Most of these times you are able to create an identity for this business or corporation. When you create an identity, it's like creating a logo. So, and graphic design, you're communicating a message to a certain audience.
So graphic design is communication with words and visuals.
It is textures and patterns and advertisements, whether it be in print or online or on TV.
A graphic design thing is a visual message to the audience, that specific audience in the area that we're speaking to.
A solution that has many answers. It's something that you have to create the answer for, and there's not one correct answer, and any of the answers could be just as creative as the next.
In between people, mostly like with the artist itself, with the viewer, the audience, and instead of using like words and saying it, we're using like our design. It's more like visual thing.
Share something I'm trying to say and be artistic.
Graphics and text put together in a way that will sell an idea, a product, communicate, or educate. That's what it is.
I wanted to make t-shirts. The main reason was fashion. You know, I really like fashion, I really like color, and whenever I would see graphic t-shirts, I always felt a sensation and an urge to learn how to make a message to communicate to a certain people. And the reason I became a graphic designer is to design t-shirts, and also to design anything from a house to a box to anything. Like, when you're a designer, in my perspective, you can pretty much design anything.
It's a job and an environment that encompasses many different aspects. It's not just painting, it's not just drawing, it's a little bit of everything. There's so much to it that I find it very enjoyable.
Because that's what was up and coming, that's what was making jobs, that's what people were doing.
Because I love the fact of communicating a message to people. And that's one of the reasons why I did.
Color, I like to tell story by design things. So I like to choose graphic design.
Started as a fine arts major, then realized there's really not much market for fine arts, and with the whole digital age coming in, I thought I'd get in on that.
It's a great balance between the arts and the computers, a little bit of business, but it's a do.
So there was a greater need for graphic designers and cartoonists, so I chose that field because that's what was up and coming, and you know, it was interesting.
I think graphic design affects us in every single way possible, from wearing a t-shirt to communicating a message to go where we go. I mean, graphic design is even in the bathroom. Look, it's even in the bathroom. Like, it affects us in every way possible, and it's a way for us to be organized and be on top of that.
For sure. From a simple logo on a truck, to the newspaper headlines, to magazines, to posters, it definitely has an impact, major.
The visuals, it's everything. It's posters, it's videos, photography, all these different mediums, and if done properly, you know, it inspires people. You know, it influences you, so it has a big effect on life and everything.
Yes, it's everywhere, so it's very important.
Absolutely. I mean, people are very visual, and graphic designers bring that visual ideas to life by using like posters you see in the subway. It does impact other people. Like,
I think it does. I mean, everything needs design nowadays. It's like we make the world pretty, graphic designers.
Yeah, it definitely has an impact on society because it's always all around us, and it influences our decisions on what we want to buy, on what we want to look like, on how we want to dress. All these things come down to design.
I definitely do. I think graphic design is all over society. It conveys political messages. It can convey like religious messages. I think graphic design is all over, and I think it's very important.
I think graphic designers can have impact from politics to the theater, depending how they portray society. One major thing is infographics that has grown a lot. The idea of infographics, using graphic designers to give quick amounts of information to the public has really influenced the election, politics, news stories, every business out there.
When it comes to influence, it's very broad because I like to combine styles from paintings. I like to combine styles from graphic design. You know, anything that deals with art, I like to combine it and make a cohesive unit. So when it comes to graphic design, I have so many things that's so influential to me. You know, I could look at a garbage can, I could look at a piece of gum, and there's a lot of things in the world that's so influential to me.
Is it Ko Vin? He did the grid for the New York Times. He's a really impressive designer because of how he uses the grid to like make efficient design, but like there's different designers.
I took a sculpture class back in high school, and that the teacher I had really like pushed me toward the art. And when I got into graphic design, I saw like a lot of people and a lot of artists, and from their work, I got like a lot of influence, usually from like Milton Glaser, Miles Newman, a British designer who designed the Unilever logo. I like their work because their work are really simple and it's really communicate well with the people.
Into the minimalist art, like the Swedish, the Swiss style, and constructivist.
Yeah, I would definitely say my sister Randy is a huge influence on my work. She is a package designer for Colgate-Palmolive in Manhattan, and she's definitely inspired my love for graphic design. I'm always inspired by the work she puts out. I see some of the work she puts out in retail stores on shelves, and that definitely inspires me.
Mainly the internet and like whatever you can find on there, because there's so much stuff like from what random people can post to like any kind of famous person, but it's whatever comes together and what I find.
For my parents, my dad's an architect and my mom's a makeup artist. So.
I really like Swiss type. I think there's something very special to it and unique. It's very simple yet dramatic at the same time, and there's a lot to it, and I want to try taking that and infusing it with a more modern touch.
Design is editing pictures. I love editing pictures because it gives you a little insight into my mind, how I see things, you know? And that's always good sometimes. So my favorite thing to design is pictures.
Comic books and graphic novels for the most part.
I actually like doing posters because a lot of my craft is posters. But I also like magazine layouts, so I can do it.
Posters and logos.
I like to design logo, brand identity, like to give a subject a personality to it. That's what I like.
You know, I've had classes that make us do like ad design per se, and I think that's like a combination of like artistic elements and with typography and you know posters.
I did like a mixtape album before. I don't know, I try to get my hands into everything. Try to touch a little of everything, so you know, I'm range and I have experience.
I like to play with the text, and I like to do logos. Logos are like, I love doing logos. It's just like, it makes you think of like, it just makes your brain work. Like, how are you gonna figure it out? Like, if a client comes in and says, you know, I own a water company, like, your brain starts thinking, you know, water, you're trying to make logos, you're trying to make ideas, and it's just, it's exciting. That's what, you know, makes me happy. Logos.
I like designing different patterns and textures, and hopefully one day I can apply them to fabrics and other textiles. And also I like to design garments.
There are like, I do a lot of illustrations, so I work with like, you know, tablets plus Photoshop and Illustrator, so I like combining the more technical side of graphic design with like illustration, so yeah.
I definitely cannot live without graphic design, you know. I wake up, it's graphic design. I eat, it's graphic design. I take a shower, it's graphic design. I mean, I just think about it every single minute, every single time.
I don't think I could live without it, or anything creative for that matter.
No, I cannot live without graphic design. I love graphic design, and I think the world loves graphic design, whether you're in the graphic design advertising industry or just a carpenter or a sanitation worker. Because again, it's about communication.
Not really. I've gotten so used to it that everything that I see, I kind of try to pick my classes from it. So I will not attend it.
I don't think I could, because we live in the world today that graphic design is really like everywhere. Like people are going towards the digital, and even that we need like graphic design. We need something to make everything so beautiful and try to communicate with one another. And I think that's what graphic design really important to us, because it's something that really attracts people to get the information they want.
Nah, I don't think I could, because graphic design is, as I said, it's in everything we do, you know? Movies, photography, fucking posters, internet, everything is graphic design. Everything you see, your clothes, they gotta do those on graphic programs, you know? Graphic design is everything visually. So I don't think I could live without it.
This is the end of my journey. Thank you guys for joining me. And I hope I see you guys in the future. I hope you guys see me in the future. This is Nelson Arevalo. Peace.